The thing is, we don't even realise that we've created rules for ourselves. There could be something that we decided years ago that we've carried with us for decades and still becomes a rule by which we live our lives by. So for example, when I was about 16, 17 and I had some body image issues, I decided that I didn't like cream. It was too fatty, it was terrible, it was awful for me. Because it would, I suppose the reason was it would keep me away from being slim. So I didn't like cream, never had it. Whenever it was offered, I just went, oh, I don't like it. And then 5 years ago, again, because all my friends, they love cream, and there was this gorgeous slab of chocolate cake with cream on the side. I'm like, oh, okay then, let me just try it. And good or bad, what I realised was I actually like cream. I'm not saying I love it, but it's not the hateful thing that I'd made it out to be. Now, when I was 16 and I had goals that were body image issues, where it was like, okay, this is the goal I wanted, and having cream was going to keep me away from that. That made sense at that time. But roll on 15, 20 years later, does it really still make sense to dislike cream? I no longer have those thoughts about my body image anymore, so why would I hate cream? Now, that was just something that's, I suppose, quite easy that I found that a rule that I've made up. And the thing is, there are so many different rules that we all make up. I was working with a client recently, and being in England and the UK, even though these are the summer months, it doesn't look summery. The temperature is fine, but the sun isn't always out. And so my client met me on the second day of our 4-day immersion and shared that she would have wanted to wear a dress today, but because she didn't see the sun, she didn't wear the dress and you know, dressed herself more for autumn. Now, in my head, that just didn't make sense. It was like, why wouldn't you wear a dress? This is England. You've lived here all your life, you know the sun doesn't shine all the time. And I know it could have been a certain type of dress, it could have been floaty, this, that and the other, but in her head, no sun equaled no dress. And she hadn't even seen that as a rule that she'd created for herself. It wasn't until we were having a conversation about why that made sense to her, what were the things that she took into consideration so that was such a hard and fast rule. She then began to realise, actually, that doesn't have to be the case 100% of the time. And that's what's amazing about these fundamental principles, what I'm calling the code, is that once you understand the code behind all human experience, what was once closed and never to be entered and never to be considered again, starts to open and have different experiences of life. It frees our mind. Those things that at one point served us doesn't have to entrap us as life goes on. And so I invite you to work with me, to have a conversation with me, to find out more about this code, how you can release your potential, your fears, experience greater freedom, greater awareness of what life can be without the rules that 99% of the time you created and forgot that you created.